Good morning again. Um, I'm kind of involved in a bit of a conversation with overpopulation on the TYT channel, and I'm talking back and forth with SinisterSkip about overpopulation, and uh, he's a little more pessimistic than I am. Uh, and he was saying I already knew the population would be capped around 10 to 11 billion ultimately, and nowhere did I state it would keep rising. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I hate typing. So I'm just doing this video response, which I wish YouTube would bring back that little button to do video response thing, but I'm going to do it this way anyway. However, just like the ecological footstep, it's one of the main problems on our Earth. The Earth is already overpopulated and will be already polluting at a rate that's far from sustainable, let alone with 30% more people. It might spike, but who's telling us that it will drop to 2 to 3 billion later on? No one can predict what will happen. Yes. And at the end he says, I'm pretty sure when I say we're either fuck ourselves in 50 to 150 years or nature will do it for us. Thanks to ourselves. And maybe I'm the consummate optimist? I don't know what I'm doing here. But I see the advancements, and I can imagine, or I can see how it's going to go by what we're doing already. Yes, that's a problem. If we were to continue consuming the amount and the way we do today, we're screwed. In fact, we're probably fairly screwed already with climate change. I think we're going to have a lot of issues with that. But as a species, unless an asteroid hits us, I think we'll do fine. We'll recover. We're pretty smart, and we want to save ourselves. So if our backyard catches on fire, we're going to do something for our own backyard, however selfish. But we're not going to continue using energy and resources the way we're doing now. Hemp is my big soapbox. I'm always on there yelling, hemp for the future, hemp for victory. We're using fossil fuels now that hemp oil could completely replace. I saw a statistic that was saying if we took a single state like Nevada or something, a state, and we grew hemp on that entire state, it would produce enough hemp oil to replace all the fossil fuels in the United States. So when you add together all the oil wells and ecological disasters and damage and all that associated with fossil fuel mining and pollution, taking a single state and growing hemp, a green crop that actually helps the planet and pulls carbon out of the atmosphere, all the great stuff, you're saving even more space and resources, and you're getting stuff other than just the oil. You're getting all the hemp, the fiber from that for paper and housing and clothing and food and all that on top of the oil. So just switching to hemp for our fossil fuel needs is going to radically change the earth and how humans consume energy and products. Solar panels are set to become thousands and thousands of times more efficient, to the point where a couple squares on your roof is going to take care of all the energy needs for a basic home. And it's going to be extremely cheap. I know there's some waste, some pollution associated with the production of solar panels, but the more efficient we start to make them, the more efficient we start to make them, the less material is required to make them. So that's becoming less and less, and then you again don't have the pollution and the ecological destruction of the planet by harvesting and raping the planet to get the energy. You're just putting up the solar panels, and that's the factory waste. But there's always going to be that, and the more we replace things with hemp and natural fibers, There's also a large movement trying to replace crates and packaging and styrofoam with mycelium, mushroom mycelium, which is pretty amazing. So I understand how you feel about humans being a shitty species that just rapes and pillages until we kill ourselves. But I think my hope, and I'm going to stick with it, because to think any other way is to be suicidal and really depressing, and I'm already depressed enough as it is. I don't need to push it for the entire race. But to see it just that it's never going to change and we're going to consume everything, I don't want to do that. So I'm siding with technology and us learning, and not just technology, just knowledge. We're learning all the corruption in the energy business and government corruption, and I think that internet is doing that. And B, we're learning how to do it better. It was I'm into monolithic domes. Hempcrete monolithic dome is what I really want to build for my home. And a lot of people go, well, I don't like those round homes, and I want, all the angles and flat sides and shingles and gingerbread, because that's how Grandpappy had it, and that's how Grandpappy always did it, and that's the tradition, and that's how I want it in my white picket fence. But we're only doing that because Grandpappy had no idea what he was doing. We know better. It's just for some reason people aren't adapting this technology, the aesthetic. For some reason they think square and angles are more beautiful than round and organic. And I can tell you they're wrong, and they don't like it either. You just look at, I'm going to be slightly sexist, I guess, male. Breasts are extremely round and very beautiful. Butts, human body parts, or we're an organic species, so roundness and organic curves are something we're intrinsically attracted to. So this learned aesthetic that we're driven to is just that, learned. And I think once you have enough of a statistical of enough roundhouses intermixed, instead of just putting a roundhouse in amongst a bunch of square houses, that's going to stick out and look funny. But if you have lots of roundhouses, I think it will be even more aesthetically pleasing and far more efficient and safe and all the bonuses. So I understand where you're coming from in this gut reaction. I just don't see it that way, and I'm way more optimistic. My pessimism is in government corruption and income inequality and using technology to oppress. But I still think we're going to have all the other benefits along with it. I think all the terrible stuff that you read in sci-fi books is going to happen, along with all the good stuff you read in sci-fi books. So the two-edged sword of the future. Just wanted to get it off my chest. Thank you for the exchange. Peace.